to oblige these people, in which case, you.
Would it be possible for us to get some kind of tour of your mini-verse from the inside?
Why bother with a tour? Just destroy the damn thing and make up some BS about why they're forbidden to create this technology again. He is a literal god to them.
This isn't a f***ing chocolate factory. I don't have time.
This comment doesn't necessarily mean that the Wonkaverse exists in this entirely unique and self-contained universe, but it does mean that chocolate exists, and as comforting as it is to discover that chocolate appears to be a multiversal constant, it really doesn't make a damn bit of sense. So, yes, I'm sending chocolate.
All right, let's go.
How did Zerp Flirterberg know that Rick would know to hold on to him and Morty for this to work? And how f***ing quick are Rick's reactions? There was zero warning for this sudden transportation.
What are you doing telling this guy that his mini-verse is unethical? Do you not see the hypocrisy here?
The only thing I see is an implausible belief on Morty's behalf that Rick isn't this disingenuous and awful as a human being. Hypocrisy indeed. Looked in a mirror lately, Morty?
Incoming!
We got a device!
Bomb! Bomb!
Yet, no one moves back.
Crank it.
I told them this means peace among worlds.
But the gestures Lip Zlop is making actually is the sign for peace, in our universe at least. So does that mean this two-finger gesture independently evolved to have the opposite meaning in this microverse culture, thus allowing him to comically assign it the inverse meaning in this mini-verse, which has actually meant its reversion back to the original meaning as we know in our universe?
Are they not really aliens?
Nah, they're just a couple of crazy, wacky scientists, you know?
I hate to be the well-actually guy. Who am I kidding? Of course I don't. Anyways, from this perspective, they're all the very definition of aliens.
Pterodactyl!
Asshole!
The only reason this exclamation should have scared Zlap Vanderflange is if he's aware of what a pterodactyl is, which means this place also evolved dinosaurs? This would be a bizarre mathematical impossibility even if it were just another planet. This is another planet in an entirely different universe. I guess the multiverse must really f***ing love dinosaurs. Honestly, can't blame them.
Don't flatter yourself. There's always AAA, you f***ing cocksucker.
I've heard the quantum battery add-on to the AAA plan is priced very reasonably.
What are we going to do now?
Question from the writer's room when struggling with this very weak B story somehow make their way into the episode. We are now 3 layers of distinct universe deep, and the most variety this evolutionary gene pool could muster is a third eye on a deer. This is still a f***ing deer. I don't know whether to send the fact that this deer would have definitely heard this timber-based Jaeger situation coming from a mile away and would have long since bolted, or the fact that this asshole tries to lunge for it instead of using this f***ing boulder launcher to kill it. Both it is.
I hope your god is as big a dick as you.
My god's the biggest dick that's never existed.
Blasphemy. Rick has form for using snakes in this way, so I'm prepared to reluctantly buy this element of his armory. However, the cream of this carefully crafted pie of bullshittery is that with this limited amount of storage space, Zulu Von Stick here chose to keep a f***ing eagle just in case of this very eventuality. And it f***ing worked.
Ooh, wow. Gay.
That is pretty gay.
Using the word gay as an insult.
I masturbated to an extra curvy piece of driftwood the other day.
Xylophiles.
Oh, hey, guys! I just finished cooking us a feast.
The f*** is there a kitchen in this lab for? Also, who would want to live in a universe where one pan of beige constitutes a feast? Genocide.
A long time ago, I implanted you with a subdermal chip that can call upon dormant nanobots in your bloodstream to restructure your anatomy and turn you into a car.
Turning your grandson into a turbo teen without explicit consent. Rick's eyes survive this. Guys, what happens if the hood is locked?
Ew, what the hell? Jesus, there's flies in my ice cream.
Fly scream. Nice to see everyone's just sitting here patiently with their 2 eggs, 2 sausages, pancake, and I'm gonna say rice, grits, cottage cheese. My point is, why is no one eating yet? Rick and Morty episode f***s up standard breakfast operating procedure cliche. This time it's the case of the inappropriate bowl of cereal. Everyone knows that you eat cereal while the main breakfast is cooking. And if that shit has been sitting there in a puddle of milk getting soggier by the second, I will lose my damn mind. And don't think it gets a pass if this morning malady is at the pre-milked part of its journey. This bowl is filled to capacity with cereal. How does Morty expect to be able to add any milk to this without some serious cereal seepage? What is up with this balloon game that Jerry's playing? First, I thought he was popping just the blue balloons, but then he pops a red one, and then I wondered why there's no score listed, so what's the point? But then I realized there are apps where you just pop fake bubble wrap like this, so now the sin's for app culture and bleeding my bank account dry 99 cents at a time.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
To a conversation about vampires?
In fairness to Jerry, vampires are one of the least interesting conversation topics to happen around this breakfast table. So, not sure why everyone's so worked up about it. Also, making me use the phrase in fairness to Jerry.
We tried a couples therapist.
That's Earth therapy. You might as well ask a horse to fix a merry-go-round.
It may not be perfect and may take a lot of work, but strangely enough, Earth therapy is the only therapy most people on Earth have access to. And if I have to throw sin on one of the funniest shows of all time just to remind you that therapy is indeed amazing, ding away. Also, does he mean an actual horse? Or one of the horses on the merry-go-round itself? I suppose one is as ridiculous as the other, but both prove the point he's trying to make. But this is an oddly specific example of futility, and sometimes I just want to know where this comes from.
I'm gonna go make some wooden stakes.
Good luck, Summer. If there's one thing I know about Rick and Morty, it's they don't really specialize in having steaks.
I booked you for a 2-day intensive at Nuptia 4, the galaxy's most successful couples counseling institute.
This place has a 100% success rate at fixing marriages and is open to the entire galaxy. But somehow Rick was able to book them in with zero notice. I can't even book a damn haircut with that sort of notice.
My shoe fits up your ass.
You wish.
Take that back. You do not think that about me.
Show doesn't clearly explain that she's not really angry about the whole killer insect thing. It was actually the 4 boobs. Who wants to carry around 2 more of those nuisances? Character closes a door and is scared by a younger asshole clone of their grandfather standing behind it. Cliché.
Oh my god, Toby Matthews.
Boy Crazy Summer is my least favorite summer, but strangely enough, also my most favorite summer.
The next step is to watch your mythologs interact together. And big surprise, it's never pretty.
Is a battle between the physical manifestations of your deepest and most uncensored thoughts about your significant other really the sort of thing that should be aired in front of complete strangers? In what way is that therapeutic for anybody?
We can work together.
Smearing your arm oil on your worm husband. Honestly, guys, have you ever tried to send this show? Modesty hands.
And I guess it's time for me to get back inside the old-timer.
I'll let one of our honorary TV Sins team members take this one.
Phrasing?
Where are the Smith mythologs?
Sending someone in to check instead of just watching back the surveillance footage. You do have surveillance footage in your fancy futuristic marriage monster prisons, right? Also, this works. Seriously, was the wall matching color of this giant f***ing gloop ball really enough to hide it? I mean, it's clearly spilling over these steps. What the heck did Glick Glack Foofeem think this thing was?
Is anybody listening? Can anyone understand? Stop looking at me like that and actually help me.
Rhyming understand with help me. Surely a race this advanced has the ability to present these murderous marital monstrosities as harmless holograms. They'd still be able to observe how they interact without the risk of all this maiming. Then again, I suppose that'd mean this B-plot would actually end up being about the complexities of dealing with long-term relationships. And then we'd be in danger of actually learning something. F that noise, continue the smashing and slicing. Also, if they absolutely have to take a physical form, which they don't, why would they send this guy all on his own and leave the door wide f***ing open if you know that this is the sort of havoc and destruction they could cause? And this place has a 100% success rate? My TripAdvisor review shall say otherwise.
What the hell kind of relationship do you have?
I mean, you just screamed.
They're codependent!
So, are you being rhetorical here? Has your universally lauded marriage counseling service never dealt with codependency? Earlier, these creatures called our planet Earth, as if they didn't know how to pronounce Earth. But the entire map is in English. Make up your mind, ridiculous animated comedy show.
If you can find one too, we should be safe for hours, maybe days.
There is so much room in this panel for both of them that even Jack and Rose are scoffing at Jerry right now.
Get outside, read a book.
Reading.
Tiny Rick!
This episode says Tiny Rick more than the Pickle Rick episode says Pickle Rick. I feel like the writers may be overcompensating for something here. Tiny, Pickle... Give me a second, I'm gonna figure it out.
Why was Knight Rider called Knight Rider? The car's name was Kit. Nobody rode Michael Knight.
Rick would be excellent at a Knight Rider episode of TV Sins.
Why was Knight Rider called Knight Rider? The car's name was Kit. Nobody rode Michael Knight.
See?
Get your together. Get it all together and put it in a backpack. All your
This gets its together for some
No, nobody's doing that.
Around 41% of people are doing that.
You want Jerry? I don't even want Jerry.
That's Jerryist. Stacking your cups this high is just asking for some asshole kid to accidentally knock them over as a distraction to put some special ingredient in the punch bowl. Shorter cup stacks are the road to true sobriety, friends.
Let me out! Let me out! This is not a dance!
This sin goes out to the Rick and Morty fan who rocked this dance at his local club, thinking everyone would think it was hilarious, forgetting that Rick and Morty Uber fans are a much smaller subset of humanity than you might think, and was mocked and embarrassed and could never show his face again at Alan's anticipation station, and it's me. This sin goes out to me.
You're a great student. The fact that you're an 80-year-old man in a clone body never bothered me.
But it really should. Why is everyone even aware of this, let alone okay with it? And how has Rick managed to prove himself as a great student? He's only been there since this morning, and I don't think he's even been to any classes. And if he has, why? He's meant to be hunting vampires. How can one sentence contain so much sin?
Summer Smith is a fucking psycho nerd, and she just got me kicked out of school.
Not owning your
I'm here to save you, or my name isn't Jerry Smith.
Aha!
Yes.
Jerry Smith!
Yeah, no show has a right to be this funny and genuinely insightful at the same time. It's just not fair to the other shows. And yes, that means I'm giving this show a sin because other shows can't match it. But don't look at me that way. You knew which channel you clicked on, honey. I like to believe that Hugh Jackman's character from The Prestige survived, found some youth juice, and eventually became his character in Reminiscence, and that this machine is the twisted result of a merger of both of his infamous inventions. I have nothing to base this on, but now that I've shared this with you, don't act like you don't want it to be true as well. Unless this clock is broken, and there's no reason to assume it is, the school dance was taking place at 2 in the afternoon when they should all, be in classes. Also, this calendar has, at most, 20 squares in total. Of course, this all could be taking place in an alternate reality where the months only have 20 days and school dances regularly take place at 2 p.m., but I'm not prepared to believe in a universe where such madness is possible. Now, back to the 80-year-old in the clone body of his teenage self attempting to murder his original older self.
What are you gonna do? I'm Tiny Rick. I'm the coolest kid in your school.
You have been expelled, sir. Your threats are hollow. Rick comes out of the vat and Marty says, Rick, while Summer says, pants. And while I don't blame Summer for her cultural norm views on nude body boundaries regarding grandparents, I will say it's weird that you chose this moment to be all of a sudden so grossed out when his Tiny Rick has been in clear view the whole episode. Why go through all of the effort of strategically covering the Rick if you're just gonna blur it anyway now? Is there a set budget of blurs per episode? Mass Sanchezide.
Just so you're prepared, there's a bunch of dead me's in the garage.
Speaking of multiple me's, what the is going to happen to the assorted cast of Into the Jerryverse back here? I know nobody behind Rick and Morty is interested in answering those sort of questions, but damn it, I want my loose ends tied up.
Hey, phrasing!
Don't worry about Jerry.
Jesus, that door opened hella fast. How many broken noses have these doors caused? And how many people have been sent to the hospital while in this hospital?
It'll stain if it gets on your clothes, and it'll send you into a murderous rage if it gets in your eyes or mouth.
Seems like this hospital would be doing everything it could to make sure Jerry couldn't projectile vomit that stuff on anybody. Or at the very least, make sure anyone nearby was protected from him.
Hello, I'm Dr. Glipglop.
If Jerry is affected by the same mutant bacteria, why didn't he get sent into a murderous rage? And maybe Rick did something to Jerry where he didn't have to kill him, but why didn't he do the same for the doctor? Is it because hilarity?
What are you doing?
A sequel.
I don't understand.
Yeah, me neither. We pretty much nailed it the first time.
Acknowledging your premise is likely not going to be very good, so you can lower people's expectations and people can forget about the usual high quality of your work cliche. Ow! That L is fully up in there, and I hope for her sake these wooden letters have been sandpapered smooth. Splinters in your sensitive bits can ruin a good wood in the ass moment, you know? Also, you're calling this one Interdimensional Cable 2, even though the called Rixty Minutes. You got some Rambo 3 in my Rick and Morty, guys. Not cool.
Man versus car.
So every single one of these shows will be random and stupid in the hope of generating roughly the same number of laughs as the last time they did this, but they went with randomer and stupider for this one. I hope that when you told your friends about Rick and Morty, this wasn't the first episode you showed them.
I'm looking through your eye holes. Yes, look through my eye holes.
My boner is confused. Also, we're about to find out that these eye holes are a breakfast cereal. Who the puts their cereal on their faces and has weird foreplay like this? Or is this the species where eye holes come from? This is an improvisational pretzel you're guiding me through. Is that rope made of metal or is the skylight glass really thin? How the did that break the glass?
I'm the only one that's allowed to have eye